The long-awaited Oberon rework is coming soon and it's looking great, but I do have some concerns, but we'll be going over those tomorrow. For today, let's go over the changes to his kit, which are a ton, so sit tight, it's a long one today, and remember, this is a dev workshop, so things may change between now and October 15th when it's released. Right away, his passive is completely new. When you pick up a health or universal orb, you'll generate one righteous negation charge for you and all of your allies in affinity range. What that does is block a single damage instance for each charge that you have, kind of like Revenant's Mesmer skin, with a 0.25 second gate between the charges being used so they don't just melt away. Oberon's first ability, Smite's going to be a single target damaging ability that will completely strip Overguard and armor from the targeted enemy, and will deal up to 75% of their current health and damage to them. 50% of that damage will be spread in an AoE around the target, and if it's cast into a group, it'll prioritize Xmas units, which is a fantastic feature, allowing for large damage and the removal of Overguard from these tougher enemies, especially since it's a percentage-based damage, which is insanely powerful, and the AoE should be quite strong as well because of that. There's not going to be any changes to its augment though. His second ability, Hollowed Ground, is getting a quality of life facelift that it's desperately needed. Hollowed Ground is now going to be a full circle rather than a radial cone, and it's now actually going to go up elevations and steps, which has always been kind of problematic. The radiation damage will now guaranteed apply a radiation status effect every half seconds, and nullifiers won't salt the earth every time they wander too close to the grass, and just protect the people inside of the bubble from Hollowed Ground's effects. And of course, it's maintaining its status cleansing and immunity when you're standing on it just like before. The Hollowed Eruption augment will be getting a buff as well, going from 100 to 200% additional duration. Renewals received its most important and requested change, being that its energy cost no longer is based on the number of allies affected by it and will be a flat number. It's also now based on your affinity range, and while it's active, your Oberon will get an additional 50% of their armor, and allies will get 100% of your Oberon's armor. And DE confirmed that this is going to be scaling with strength, and it's going to be based on Oberon's armor, not the affected allies' armor. And just like before, it'll still be healing allies in range, and people standing on Hollowed Ground will get double healing. Also, you and your team will only be able to be affected by a single casting of renewal, so 2 Oberons in a squad is less than ideal now. The Phoenix renewal augment's getting a cooldown reduction from 90 to 60 seconds. And finally, Reckoning is getting some fairly large changes, firstly being that it's going to be a line of sight base, which with the improvements to line of sight checking that they've done over the last few months, I'm not too worried about this personally. It's getting a significant damage increase, where the bonus damage that you get on enemies affected by radiation has been increased from 625 to 750, and will be on a per stack of radiation basis, so at 10 stacks it's 7,500 additional damage on top of what the ability normally does. Oberon will also get up to 1,000 armor based on the number of enemies hit by the ability for 30 seconds, which scales with duration, and those affected by radiation will give even more armor. Reckoning will now remove armor on its own and doesn't need Hollowed Ground, which is a major win in usability, and the health orb drop chance is no longer tied to Reckoning getting the last hit, but it's based on if the enemy's been affected by Reckoning before their death. Also, it's no longer going to blind enemies, and it's getting a bit of a faster cast speed too. The Hollowed Reckoning augment's going to have reduced visual effects so that we're not blinding each other anymore, and the bonus armor from the augment will remain on Oberon for a small duration and not just while he's sitting inside of the little bubbles that it makes. Overall, I think that while I have some concerns about a few aspects, this is an incredible improvement to his kit, and I've already started build crafting some ideas. But let me know what you think in the comments, and as always, sub for more tips and news, and swing by my stream if you need any help.